My Bloody Banjo from director Liam Reagan is one of those movies that if you've seen it, you know you've seen it and you know how good it is and you love it because it is just everything that you loved about those 80s, 90s cockamamie shenanigan kind of trauma movies. That's kind of Liam's wheelhouse. At Fright Fest this year, which you would have heard us talk about on the first episode of the podcast, Liam showed his second movie. His new movie is called Eating Miss Campbell. As soon as I saw the trailer, as soon as I saw the synopsis, there is no way I wasn't watching this movie. It just looked like a whole bunch of fun. So in this episode, we are talking about Eating Miss Campbell. I am back and my name is Kevin Halden. I am your host with the most. This is Nerdly Out Loud, the official channel of nerdly.co.uk, your favourite British home for all of your news, reviews and exclusive interviews. We like to cover everything from the big budget to the low budget to the no budget, with a special keen interest on the lower end of the scale. We have covered one of Liam's movies before, not me personally. I have seen My Bloody Banjo and I love My Bloody Banjo. When I got a chance to sit down and watch Eating Miss Campbell, I couldn't wait, and I loved the fact that it was going to be at Fright Fest because it's absolutely one of those movies that should be at Fright Fest and should be on the biggest screen for everyone to see because it's just a great bonkers movie. Again, if you've seen My Bloody Banjo, you kind of know what you're coming into. He gave us what I thought I was going to get, dialed it up to 11 and just went for it. So, yeah. But first of all, before we get into all of that, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and ding that notification bell. It will let you know whenever reviews are coming out, interviews are coming, anything like that. It will let you know straight away. This train just keeps on moving, and we're just going to keep going, and the ranked videos won't be going anywhere either. So, yes. Episode 2 of the podcast. We are looking at that now, so that'll be coming soon as well. But let's get into Eating Miss Campbell. And anybody who's been here before, if you've been around here before, you will know how I do these things. I will be talking about the plot of the movie without too many spoilers. In fact, I try and keep it pretty much spoiler free. Then I'll get into what I did and what I didn't like about the movie, and then I will talk about the cast and characters. Sorry, no, I'll do the cast and characters, then what I didn't like about this movie. And finally, I will get into my overall rating of the movie. And of course, that is the Nerdly Out Loud rating. It's my rating, not necessarily the rating of the website as a whole. So we basically meet teenage girl Beth Connor, who is living in her own sad horror movie. However, she can't find a way to kill herself. She's had many failed attempts to kill herself, but she wants to die because she hates her sad horror movie existence. She tells us this by breaking the fourth wall within the first 5 minutes, which is amazing. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a second because that's a big thing in this movie. Luckily for her, though, they have a new headmaster at the school, and he wants to basically host an all-you-can-eat massacre, and the winner of that gets a loaded handgun. So hopefully if she wins that, she's going to get it. And at the same time, she has got a new teacher at the school called Miss Campbell, the titular Miss Campbell, who she kind of falls in love with. There are twists and turns along the way. It is ridiculously over the top, fantastically meta in all the best ways. You will just love this movie. I don't want to talk too much more about the plot. There are a lot of different things going on, but you kind of just have to get into this movie and let it all, as Mr. Jericho would say, drink it in, man, because this film, I'm just going to tell you now before I even get to my final rating, this film's awesome. It's absolutely brilliant. I love this movie. But let's get into the cast and crew of this movie. First up, normally I would talk about the cast first. That's kind of how I roll with these things because I like to talk about the performances. But I am going to start with Liam Reagan because honestly, and I don't know if it's Reagan or Regan, I think it's Reagan, and I'm going to go with that. But honestly, he seems quite young, and to come out with something like this, like his feature film debut, My Bloody Banjo, it's a great film. It's got a great following. But this film just seems like a massive jump up, like he's leveled up in a big bad way. The cast is better, although he's got some of his, former cast in here, so that's great. He just seems to have more of a sense. He's more self-aware of what this movie is, who he is as a director, and he really leans into that, using all of his favourite homages, all of his favourite things from back in the trauma days, and Phil said on the website that if Lloyd Kaufman was ever going to be handing over the reins to Trauma, Liam Reagan's the guy to give it to. I completely echo that sentiment. Like, that's exactly what should happen. But I think he's done a great job with this movie. It looks $1 million. It looks fantastic. The script and the storyline and the meta-ness, sometimes meta doesn't work, but when it does work, it works superbly. This kid makes it work. Like, I love the fourth wall break, and it never once felt stupid, hokey, janky. It always felt like it was serving the plot. It always felt like it was serving the characters. And that's all you want when you're doing that kind of thing. We've gushed over Liam enough. Let's talk about the cast. I've seen Lindsay Crane in movies like Book of Monsters, which came out like back in 2018, so I've seen her before, but holy crap, she is absolutely superb in this movie. From moment one, when she breaks that fourth wall and starts talking to you, I kind of did wonder. I was a little bit worried going forward, but she absolutely sells everything she does. The sarkiness, the ignorance that she seems to have towards other people, and just the way she plays this character. Like, I've known people like this. Maybe it's dialed up quite a bit to get to the character that we need to be, but I've known people like this, and she feels like every final girl, but not every final girl. She's truly original, and that's just what I loved about the character of Beth Connor. She's a vegan goth, which made me laugh. Wonderful performance in this movie. But again, the movie lives and breathes in its performances, and that's something I'm going to be saying right across the board. I don't think anybody really played that bad of a role. Everybody's kind of hitting every note you want them to hit, including Lala Barlow as the titular Miss Campbell. The way these two ladies get together and the way they form this little bit of chemistry within their roles, it just feels natural. They work really well together. Hopefully we can see some more of that again in the future. But again, I guess as well, it kind of helps that you are given just some great material to work with, and I'm assuming it was a case of, look, this is the material, but have fun with it. You know, as long as you don't go too far off track, have fun with the role, play with the role, make it yours. I'm not speaking on the director's behalf, but I kind of feel like you get the gist of that when you're watching the movie, because everybody's having fun. Emily Hay and Michaela Longdon. Emily Haig is getting about, she's doing a lot of good stuff. Charlie Bond is pretty much becoming a bit of a scream queen on the independent circuit, definitely. Like, we could see her breaking out and becoming like this bigger star, which is fantastic to see. And Michaela Longdon, I've seen her in some shorts. She did Nicole Potts short a little while back. She did a Nathan Shepka movie a little while ago, When Darkness Falls. And in this, I kind of love the fact that she seems to be having a lot more fun than I've seen her have. Usually they're quite dramatic roles, but here she seems to be bringing the drama but also having fun with it. So that was good. I loved those three characters. They really work well, and they bring another sense of high school drama to the movie, if you know what I mean. Like, they just work. So that's that. One character that I think absolutely steals the movie, and she is just wonderful, and I have to talk about her, is Annabelle Rich as Nancy Applegate, one of the teachers. She is great. Like, I loved every scene she popped up in. Her delivery on a lot of these one-liners, because she's got some one-liners in here, she just knocks out the park. I wanted to give a big special mention to that character because I loved it. And another UK independent scream queen that is kind of doing the rounds right now, Danny Thompson, turns up. We love seeing Danny Thompson. She has done quite a few things over the last couple of years that really shines. And here, she's not got the biggest role in the movie, but in her scenes, she is right there in front of you and you cannot miss her. And of course, you've got some Trauma guys in there. Not for least, Lloyd Kaufman turning up in a little bit of a cameo. Great to see him though, obviously supporting Liam Reagan in his career. This bit's getting a bit long-winded, so I'm going to move on to what I did and what I didn't like. And what I did like, what I loved, is basically the overall vibe of this movie. Breaking the fourth wall. It felt like movies I used to watch years ago on Channel 4 or Bravo Channel, as me and Phil talked about. You know, like, it felt old school, but really modern, nice and polished, nice and sleek. The effects were fantastic. The score is amazing, the music in this film. You don't really realize how much a score or the music can change a movie until you watch movies like this and you realize that dude, like, it's all there. And Liam Reagan knows what he's doing when it comes to that as well, because it all just fits the vibe, fits the mold, fits the feeling. So yeah, that was one of the things that I really just loved about it. I love the meta fourth wall breaking and the self-referential, the movie knowing exactly what it is and just playing hard into that at times and just going for it. The whole let's not hold back attitude, and this movie is nuts, but let's make it more nuts. You know, the actors are all involved in that. The director's really involved in that. The script leans into that. So you may as well go for it. In terms of things I didn't like, there's not really anything that I can think of, and if I did, I'd be coming up with just minor gripes, which I do quite a lot, to be fair, so I probably should try and find some, but I'm not going to with this one, because I think Eating Miss Campbell, you need to give Liam the credit that he deserves and the flowers that he deserves on this, although he probably wouldn't want flowers because he seems like a bit of a dark, sinister person, but you know, he looks nice in his photos. I'm not going to sit here and try and nitpick this movie, because he's 2 movies deep with My Bloody Banjo and Eating Miss Campbell, and both movies have been exceptional first tries. You know, like, he makes a certain kind of movie and he makes the best kind of those certain kinds of movies. So I'm not going to sit here and try and pick it apart. I'm just going to say that you should absolutely watch this movie. You have to watch this movie. Support the kid. Let's get this film seen. It has to be seen. So we may as well just move straight into our final rating. And my final rating is going to be absolutely no surprise to anybody. It's a 5 out of 5. I felt like giving it a 6 out of 5, but I'm not going to do that, because that just makes a mockery of the rating system. It's exactly what it was supposed to be. It's exactly what he set out to make. It's exactly what I thought I was going to get. It's actually more than I thought I was going to get. I'm so glad it played at Fright Fest. I'm so glad it's getting all the reviews it's getting, because it's doing really well. I've not seen many people saying anything negative about the film, and I really just want people to check it out. Liam Reagan, we will be checking out your career going forward. We will be talking to you on the channel 100%. If I was making movies, they might not be horror genre or anything like that, but his type of movie, his type of sensibility, that's exactly what I'd be making. Like, you got to lean into that stuff. You got to run with it, you got to go with it, and you've got to have your tongue firmly in your cheek, but know exactly who you are, and what you're doing. And Liam does that. And every actor and actress in this movie does that. And that's why the movie gets a 5 out of 5. So enough ranting and raving, I am going to go. My name has been Kevin Halden. Please do check out Eating Miss Campbell whenever you get a chance, whether it's at the festivals or when it comes out on digital or physical or whenever we get it. I will be keeping people updated. Eating Miss Campbell is a movie that absolutely needs to be seen by all, and I hope you all do. Please check it out. I'm going to go. Kevin Halden, Nerdly Out Loud. Please do hit that like, hit that subscribe, and ding that notification bell. Head over to nerdly.co.uk, and we will be back with another video very, very soon.